At the number 10 spot, we have Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Frieza is the ultimate galactic tyrant, ruling over countless planets with an iron fist. His sadistic pleasure in destruction and domination makes him one of the most hated yet iconic villains in anime history. Responsible for the annihilation of the Saiyan race, Frieza embodies pure evil with a chilling combination of intelligence and cruelty. His infamous transformations during his battle with Goku adds layers to his menacing aura, making each form more terrifying than the last. Despite his overwhelming power, Frieza's greatest strength lies in his personality. His smug arrogance and cutting remarks make him as entertaining as he is despisable. Frieza's defeat at the hands of Goku after pushing a Saiyan to achieve the legendary Super Saiyan transformation is one of the most memorable moments in anime history. Yet, even in defeat, Frieza's legacy looms large, proving that his evil is unmatched in its enduring impact. At the number 9 spot, we have Sho Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Sho Tucker is one of the most disturbing villains in anime, not because of his strength or grand ambitions, but due to the sheer horror of his actions. He's a stale alchemist who becomes infamous for using his alchemist expertise to perform gruesome experiments. His most infamous act, transmuting his daughter Nina and their dog into a chimera. This pushes him into the realm of truly unredeemable characters. The emotional devastation that Nina's transformation causes not only affects the protagonists, but also the viewers, leaving a permanent mark on the story. Tucker's crime is especially haunting because it isn't driven by malice towards Nina or a desire for revenge. Instead, it's driven by an overwhelming, almost pathological obsession with preserving his career and reputation as an alchemist. His willingness to sacrifice his family for the sake of research reveals the depths of his moral decay. Unlike other villains in Full Metal Alchemist who possess a grand motivation, Tucker's tragedy is that he's a man who's lost sight of his humanity for a goal that ultimately destroys him. At the number 8 spot, we have Eizen from Bleach. Eizen is a master manipulator, a villain whose influence extends throughout Bleach from the very beginning. His calm demeanor and seemingly benevolent nature disguise his true intentions. Eizen seeks to transcend humanity itself by obtaining the power of the Hogyoku, a powerful artifact that grants insane-like abilities. His betrayal of the Soul Society, along with his near-flawless execution of his plans, paints him as one of the most dangerous minds in the series. What makes Eizen so compelling is that his actions are not driven by anger or vengeance, but by his own belief in his superiority and destiny to reshape the world. Despite his immense power and ability to manipulate the minds of those around him, Eizen's downfall lies in his overconfidence. His smug arrogance blinds him to the true depth of his enemy's resolve, and the eventual defeat at the hands of Ichigo is a satisfying testament of the power of self-belief and resilience. Throughout his time as the villain, Eizen remains brilliant, cold, and unwavering in his pursuit of godhood. His legacy as one of the greatest villains in anime is cemented by his unforgivable personality and the tension he created throughout Bleach. At the number 7 spot, we have Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. Hisoka is one of the most unpredictable characters in Hunter x Hunter. His sadistic personality, paired with his love for combat, turns him into a villain who is more about the thrill of the fight than any grand ambition. Hisoka thrives on fighting strong opponents, making him both an ally and an adversary to the protagonists at different points in the series. His unpredictability is one of the greatest strengths, as he never fully reveals his plans and frequently shifts alliances to satisfy his own desires. His flirtations with Gon and Killua, coupled with his tendency to play games with the lives of others, makes him a disturbing yet captivating character. Hisoka's true nature as a villain is revealed in the Chimera Ant arc, where he decides to eliminate Chrollo, the leader of the Phantom Troop, in a battle of wits and strength. Hisoka's obsession with fighting those he deems worthy of his time makes him a constant, looming threat in the series. But beneath his chaotic exterior, Hisoka is motivated by a deep desire for personal pleasure through conflict and destruction. His villainy isn't about power or revenge, it's about satisfying his personal whims, which makes him both terrifying and fascinating in equal measure. At the number 6 spot, we have Akaza from Demon Slayer. Akaza stands out among the 12 Kizuki for not only his brutal strength, but for his complexity of character. As a demon, he has unwavering loyalty to his master Muzan, and has a fierce desire to recruit strong fighters to join the ranks of demons. However, Akaza's true motivation stems from his past life, where he was a human warrior who sought strength above all else. His belief in the superiority of physical strength drives his cruelty towards others, as he frequently mocks and kills weaker individuals. In his battle with Rengoku, Akaza's prideful nature and obsession with strength are fully on display, as he desperately tries to convince the Flame Hashira to become a demon and join him in the view of his world. What makes Akaza such a compelling villain is his internal conflict. He does not desire to destroy humanity for the sake of destruction. Instead, he seeks to evaluate those he deems strong enough to join his demonic world. His battle with Rengoku is not just a physical clash, but an ideological one, where Akaza's views on strength collide with Rengoku's ideals of compassion and selflessness. Akaza's growth and tragic backstory provide depth to his character that goes beyond the typical villainy, making him one of the most standout agonists in Demon Slayer. At the number 5 spot, we have Tomura from My Hero Academia. Tomura begins as a violent and reckless villain in My Hero Academia, but as the series progresses, his depth and complexity are revealed. Initially, Tomura is a nihilistic figure who simply seeks to destroy society. Influenced by his traumatic past and the absence of strong parental figures, he is a successor to All for One, and as such, carries the weight of his mentor's immense power and ideology. However, Tomura is more than just a tool of destruction. He's a product of a broken society, one that rejected him and drove him to become the symbol of its downfall. His personal vendetta against the heroes, particularly his hatred for All Might and the symbol of peace, is rooted in a profound desire for revenge and recognition. Tomura's character arc in My Hero Academia is one of the most compelling in the series. His transition from a volatile, unorganized leader of the League of Villains to a more focused and powerful leader of the Paranormal Liberation Front marks a dramatic evolution. His interactions with other villains such as Dabi and Toga reveal a more human side to him. Though his goals remain unflinchingly destructive, by the time Tomura reaches his full power, he represents a culmination of all the anger, pain, and resentment he's accumulated throughout his life. But its ultimate conflict is with the heroes and its quest to reshape the world. It's one of the most defining arcs in My Hero Academia. At the number 4 spot, we have Griffith from Berserk. Griffith, the charismatic leader of the Band of the Hawk, begins Berserk as a noble and heroic figure, someone who inspires loyalty and admiration in those around him. However, his true nature is revealed after a devastating betrayal that transforms him into a femto. Griffith's decision to sacrifice his comrades, including the beloved protagonist's guts, in exchange for his dream of achieving his own version of kingship, marks one of the most horrifying moments in anime. His motivations aren't driven by hatred or desire for power in the conventional sense. Instead, Griffith is a man obsessed with achieving his dreams, regardless of the cost. His betrayal not only destroys the lives of those closest to him, but also sets the stage for the tragic events that follow. As Femto, Griffith transcends the realm of humanity, becoming an otherworldly force that embodies the themes of ambition, sacrifice, and fate. His cold, calculating nature and willingness to commit unimaginable atrocities to fulfill his dreams makes him a villain who transcends mere evil. He is the embodiment of an ideal that demands absolute sacrifice. Griffith's tragic fall from grace, paired with profound impact on the lives of Guts and the other characters, makes him one of the most complex and memorable antagonists in anime history. At the number 3 spot, we have Light Yagami from Death Note. Light Yagami starts as a promising student with a strong sense of justice, but is encountered with a Death Note, an artifact that allows its user to kill anyone whose name they write, propels him into a dark and dangerous path. Initially, Light aims to rid the world of criminals and create a utopia free of corruption. But as his power grows, so does his ego. The Death Note warps his sense of morality, leading him to view himself as God above humanity. His desire to rule the world and enforce his version of justice leads him to engage in a deadly game of cat and mouse with a genius detective L, with the fate of millions hanging in the balance. What makes Light such a compelling villain is a slow erosion of his humanity, as he shifts from a well-intentioned young man to a cold, calculating individual who will do anything to protect his secret identity. Light becomes a mirror of the very corruption he once sought to eliminate. His inner conflict is constantly at odds with his actions, creating a morally ambiguous figure whose descent into madness is both chilling and tragic. His intelligence and strategic brilliance are matched only by his growing arrogance, ultimately leading to his downfall. Light's story forces the viewer to question the true meaning of justice and whether absolute power can ever be truly used for good. At the number 2 spot, we have Madara from Naruto Shippuden. Madara is a master of manipulation, power, and deception. One of the founding figures of the Hidden Leaf Village, Madara's idealism gradually turns into a thirst for ultimate power. His belief that peace can only be achieved by ruling the world through absolute control leads him to clash with his former allies. Madara's ambition reaches its peak when he seeks to use the power of the tailed beast to trap the world into eternal illusion, free of pain and conflict. His plan to rewrite reality itself demonstrates his king-like aspirations and the lengths he's willing to go in order to achieve his version of the peace. However, what truly sets Madara apart as a villain is the depth of his trauma and personal psychology. And he's not just a power-hungry maniac, he's a deeply scarred individual who has suffered great losses, shaping his disillusionment with humanity. His bond with Hashirama and his desire for a world where no one suffers exposes a tragic side of his villainy, showing how good intentions can spiral into chaos when fueled by the wrong means. Madara's sheer power and undeniably will to reshape the world makes him a legendary antagonist in anime, and his final showdown with Naruto represents the culmination of his complex journey. Number 1 spot, we have Envy from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Envy, one of the 7 deadly sins, stands out as an epitome of jealousy and destructive emotion. As a shapeshifter, Envy is capable of assuming the forms of anyone, making them both a formidable physical and psychological threat. Envy's ability to manipulate others by exploring their emotions allows them to cause widespread chaos and suffering. However, Envy's true malice isn't in just the pain they inflict, but in their jealousy towards humanity. Envy's disdain for humans grows out of a deep-seated insecurity, as they are forever unable to understand the concept of love and familial bonds, something they envy in humans. Their role in the story grows ever more tragic as their actions, driven by his jealousy, lead to their eventual breakdown. What makes Envy such a profound and unforgettable villain is their internal conflict. They are not driven by a grand desire for power like other antagonists. Instead, their hatred and resentment are fueled by a simple, bitter feeling of not being able to understand or experience the very emotions they envy in humans. Envy's tragic end, where they are confronted with the consequence of their actions, exposes the true cause of their jealousy. Envy's arc serves as a powerful commentary of the dangers of the unchecked emotion and the destructive potential of envy. But yeah, if you guys did stick to this point, be sure to comment down below this emoji, and also be sure to drop a like and sub to the channel.